What's up, retro collectors and gamers? Sega Man Tony back here with another video. This video it's not a pickups. This is my Sega favorite games that I have in my collection. I wanted to do a video on that. There's a lot, not a lot here. I have a whole lot still downstairs that I really enjoy, but these are like some of my most favorite collectible games and collector items I have here, and I wanted to go and show you what some of my favorites are, because I've been watching people's videos and seeing their favorites, so I wanted to do a video on it myself, just like I did with my Game Boy Advance, showing my Game Boy Advance collection. So let's get started. One of my favorite games is a fighting game, and it's Sega Saturn Fighter Mega Mix for the Sega Saturn. This is a great game. It has the all the Virtual Fighter and Fighting Viper 2, and even 10 hidden characters in it, and even some quirky ones like the car from what's that game called? I think it's Daytona for the Sega Saturn, and you get to fight as that car, and then there's some other different characters in there too. That's really funny and comical fighting game, and it's pretty damn good. So another good one here. It's actually a direct port from the arcade. I think it's went up in price, and it is X-Men: Children of the Atom. Another great game for the Sega Saturn. I got that a long time ago. Great graphics. It got, even on here it says that Children of the Atom, the arcade game, it got all fives in GamePro magazine, I guess a long time ago. So that's a really great game. So if you're really into good fighting games, that's one of the best ones to get. So another one here is Knights. This is Knights in the box. Games in here and the 3D controller. I think this got kind of expensive now. I've had this for a long time. The Knights is one of the best games, I think, on the Sega Saturn. It really showed off the Sega Saturn's power and what it can do. This is a great box set for Knights. It's awesome. If you can't get the box, at least try to get the game. It's an awesome game. Now, I've been seeing this pop up on YouTube lately, and actually I found out that it's become expensive to get. I actually got mine free in a Sega book, and it is Christmas Knights. I do have the paper sleeve that it goes in, but I'd rather keep it in here, in a jewel case. But yeah, there's a lot of people that love this. It's only one board, but it's a beautiful game. You can play it on Christmas, and then there's also like a spring or like a fall one too, and depending on what time you set the date at. This is very sought after, and it's actually gone up in price. This sample disc. So very glad to have this. I've had this for years. I've had this, but yeah, there's a lot of people talking about that. So that's another good one there. Let's go through some more here. Doom. I heard this is my favorite Doom. Better than the 64, better than the Super Nintendo, the 32X. I believe it's a direct port from the computer. It's a great game. It's really awesome. If you play this and you have it hooked up through a receiver, the sounds are awesome. It's creepy, and it's very well done sound-wise. It's pretty awesome. Another great game here is Die Hard Arcade. This is a really good game. It reminds me of what's that game I got on the Dreamcast? I think it's called Time Cop. It's kind of like the same action play like on there, and it's a good game to add in your Sega Saturn collection. It is pretty awesome, and yeah, it's pretty good. I got that a long time ago, but it's a great game. There's another one, I think it's Trilogy. I don't have that one yet. I might get that later. Another great game to add, let me show this one first, is Panzer Dragoon. Awesome rail shooter. Highly recommend this game. Beautiful graphics, beautiful music. Panzer Dragoon Zal. Another great game. Another rail shooter. Great to add to your Sega Saturn collection. This is a sweet game. It's awesome, and actually, when you put it in your Sega Saturn, it saves and you continue where you left off at. It's a great game. I never really hear about this game ever on YouTube on people that collect Sega Saturn. It's a fighting game, and it's called Dark Legend. It's a really weird fighting game. I love it. It's an awesome game. It's kind of like a Street Fighter almost. Some of them use swords and stuff. It's made by Data East. Data East is known to make really good games. I think it has went up in price, but I never see nobody interview this fighting game. And it's a great game to add to your collection. Another great game, and expensive, is Resident Evil on the Sega Saturn. This is an awesome port of Resident Evil. There's people actually on YouTube that like this better than the PlayStation version. It is really good. Another great shooter you see a lot on YouTube is Galactic Attack. This is a great shooter for your Sega Saturn. It's sought after. I don't think it's really high in price or anything, but it's a really good shooter to add if you like shooter games. Now this is one of my best shooters here on the Sega Saturn, and it's Darius Gaten. A lot of people interview this game. A lot of people love this game and love this series. I think it's went up in price a little bit. I think I seen it for like $30. That's not that bad, but it's great to add to your Saturn collection. Now this game went up in price, and it is expensive. I'm not saying it's super expensive, but it's expensive. It is Contra on the Sega Saturn. This is awesome. I got this from my friend when they owned a game store. I did a trade, and I got this. This is an awesome Contra game for the Sega Saturn, and it has a 3D version of it. It has went up in price, but it is a cool Contra game to have on the Sega. I think it's the only one on the Sega Saturn, which is really cool, and that's pretty awesome by Konami. Another great fighting game here is Night Warriors Darkstalkers Revenge for the Sega Saturn. Another sweet fighting game from Capcom. I had loads of fun with this when I was younger. Played it for hours. It's a great game. And this is an expensive game, and there's a lot of people on YouTube said they wish they could find this game complete or just find the disc. It is Mortal Kombat Trilogy for the Sega Saturn. I did pick this up in a trade at my game store at the Exchange. This is the best on the Saturn. I do have 2, and I do have Ultimate on the Sega Saturn, but this is the best one, and it's the most expensive one. And I also have the disc for PlayStation, Mortal Kombat Trilogy, but this one's the best one, and it's kind of expensive now. So I seen it for $100. Now these are some of my favorite Sega Genesis games here. First one here is Dragon's Fury. It's a great pinball game on the Sega Genesis, and also Dragon's Revenge, another great game on the Sega Genesis, and it is complete. Another great game, I don't have the casing to it, but it is expensive, even the cart, is Truxton. Another great shooter for the Sega Genesis. An awesome, awesome, awesome game. If you watch Classic Game Room, Mark, I've met him before. I met him at the Exchange. He's a cool dude. He was there getting some A&V cables for his Dreamcast. This is his favorite shooter, Truxton. He always talks about Truxton. Awesome game, and kind of expensive. Another one here, it's called Hellfire. Another great game for the Sega Genesis. Another great shooter. I think it has went a little bit up in price, but not like Truxton, but it's a great shooter. I highly recommend this. these are definitely up in price, and people love this. Splatterhouse 2 and Splatterhouse 3, complete in box. I got these in a trade a long time ago. Actually, I think I paid for this one. This one was the trade. Splatterhouse 3, I paid, I think back in the day, I think it was $10 used. And this was a trade, but yeah, these are becoming very expensive and hard to find in complete in box. But these are actually my favorite horror games on the Genesis. There is a few others that are out there, but these are the best on the Genesis. They kick ass. They're awesome. Okay. A couple more here. Let's see. 2 great shooters. Well, I was trying to find the other one. Yeah, here we go. Give me a minute here. 3 great shooters. I'll show you these 2 first. The Thunder Force series. Thunder Force 2 and Thunder Force 3. Thunder Force 2 is a great game. It's side-scrolling and top-down. But Thunder Force 3 is a really kick-ass side-scrolling shooter game. These are great games. One of the best Technosoft made for the Genesis. It is the best on the Genesis, and it is really awesome. They have went up in price. I think this one's cheaper, but these ones people want the most. Lightning Force. Lightning Force is another great game. I have all 3. And I do have another one I imported on a Sega Saturn. I didn't bring that one up, but these are my favorite shooters on the Sega Genesis. All right, some more here. It's kind of expensive. Streets of Rage 3, Streets of Rage 2, complete in box. I think 3 is a little bit more expensive than 2. I've seen 2 for $20. I don't know how much 3 is going for in box, but these are... 2 is my favorite. 2 is the best to me on the Genesis. I mean, it showed the power of the Genesis. This is a sweet game. This is an awesome game. I highly recommend it if you don't have it. Get the Streets of Rage series. They are awesome games. Okay. Another one. It's called Mega Turrican. It's a little hard, but it's by Data East, and it's a great game. I picked it up at a flea market for $5 a couple years back. I think it is a little bit more expensive than that now, but it is a great game and it is complete. And it's good to add to your collection. It's a little hard, but the graphics are awesome in this game, and it is a really good game to get into, an action adventure shooter. Another great game. People have this. Eternal Champions for the Sega Genesis. Great game. I love the Eternal Champions series. I have the one on the Sega CD too. The one on the Sega CD is way better because it has better music, better sort of like fatalities. But this is an awesome game. You know, it pushed what Street Fighter, like, it just made it more gory. You know, more bloody. You know, like a Street Fighter with blood and gore kind of. Great game to add to your collection. A game I used to enjoy when I was younger, I found Saint Sword. I don't never really see anybody talk about Saint Sword on YouTube when they do their Genesis collection. But this is another it's a pretty weird game. You know, it's you turn into a fish, you turn into a horse, you get wings and fly. You know, it's a pretty good game. It's not bad. It's by Taito, right there. It's not bad. It's a pretty decent game. 2 great classics. Golden Axe 2 and Golden Axe 1. Golden Axe 2 is a really good game. 1, it will always be the best. But Golden Axe 2 was really pretty good. It had good music in it. The adventures of you know, you fighting in the different boards was pretty awesome. And it did a great job on the music. So these are really good action adventure games to add to your collection. If you don't have it, get them. They're great. Well, another good one. Ghouls and Ghosts. I think this went up in price. I actually got this free. I shopped at Lukey Games and I saved up these points, you know, from buying games there. And I got this in box for free with my points. So was really glad to have this. And yeah, I'm glad to have it. It's hard as hell, but it's a great game. To me, it's hard. I don't know if you guys beat it, but it's hard to me. Last but not least, two great shooters. Biohazard and Troubleshooter. Troubleshooter has become kind of expensive now. I think complete in box. It's an awesome shooter. Biohazard kicks ass. It's a great shooter. I think you can get this for a decent price, just the cart. But I never really seen anybody talk about Biohazard. I have seen triple shooter, you know, on YouTube. But yeah, these are two great shooters, and they're pretty awesome. So, well, that's it, guys. I just wanted to show you a few of my favorite games from my Sega collection. And I'm going to be going to Steel City Con this weekend. I might be picking up some stuff there, you know. And yeah, that's it. So I'll talk to you later. Keep gaming, guys, and I'll see you soon.